The year is Arting. Nicolás Maduro is sitting in a holding cell in Brooklyn. But this wasn't the result of a single raid or a dramatic political betrayal. The handcuffs that hold him were forged over a decade, by an economic collapse so extreme it turned the richest country in South America into a crime scene. Venezuela had everything: the largest proven oil reserves on earth, fertile land, and educated people. And yet, within 10 years, 80% of its economy vanished. A cup of coffee cost millions, lifelong savings evaporated, hunger became normal. This is the forensic audit of how winning the geological lottery can still end in total ruin. The trap began with oil. Over 300 billion barrels of crude beneath Venezuelan soil created a classic case of what economists call Dutch disease. All that oil money made the national currency too strong. Imports became dirt cheap, and local farming and manufacturing just couldn't compete. Venezuela stopped producing and started buying everything: food, medicine, cars, all paid for with oil cash. This system only worked as long as oil prices stayed high. When Maduro took power in 2013, the system was already broken. Years earlier, the government had fired 20,000 skilled engineers from the state oil company, PDVSA, and replaced them with political loyalists. The infrastructure rotted. Maintenance stopped. Instead of fixing the machine, Maduro drained PDVSA like a personal ATM to buy political loyalty. Then, in 2014, oil prices crashed, and the revenue disappeared. Instead of cutting spending, Maduro chose the fatal option: print more money. Hyperinflation followed. Prices didn't rise monthly or weekly, they changed hourly. By 2018, inflation hit an insane 130,000%. The currency became worthless. People spent money the second they got it, on anything tangible, because holding cash meant you were guaranteed to lose. The foundation of any economy trust was completely destroyed. With the currency dead, food vanished from the shelves. The government introduced the clap food boxes. They were sold as aid, but in reality, they were a weapon. If you supported the regime, you ate. If you protested, you starved. Even worse, insiders were importing low-quality food at inflated prices and pocketing the difference. Hunger became a business model. As survival became impossible, people fled. Nearly 8 million Venezuelans, a quarter of the entire population, left the country. Doctors, engineers, teachers, oil workers. This massive brain drain made any chance of recovery impossible. Hospitals failed, the power grids broke down. The state was hollowed out. In 2019, the lights went out nationwide. The massive Guri Dam, the heart of the country's power grid, collapsed from sheer neglect. No power meant no water, no hospitals, no life support. Patients died in darkness. The economy had crossed the line from crisis into a full-blown humanitarian disaster. To survive, the regime legalized the US dollar. Suddenly, a two-tier society emerged. The vast majority trapped in poverty, while a tiny elite holding dollars enjoyed luxury imports. It looked like a recovery, but it was just a mirage, powered by money sent from relatives abroad and rampant money laundering, not real production. When the oil money failed, Maduro turned to gold illegal mining in the Amazon, controlled by the military and criminal gangs. Mercury poisoned rivers. Indigenous communities were destroyed. Venezuela stopped being a state and became a criminal enterprise. In 2024, Maduro was given one final exit: hold free elections in exchange for an end to sanctions. He lost badly, but he chose power over survival, stole the vote, and snapped the country's economic lifeline shut. Sanctions returned with a vengeance. The military saw the truth: as long as Maduro stayed, Venezuela would never recover. With the economy dead, the state turned fully criminal. Drug trafficking became state policy, with the Cartel of the Suns, a network of corrupt officials, protecting cocaine routes. Maduro stopped being a president and became a liability with a $15 million bounty on his head. By late 2025, the money finally ran out. Payments to the generals arrived late or not at all. The incentives flipped. Protecting Maduro now meant sinking with him. On January 3, 2026, the system collapsed. Not because of an invasion, but because loyalty had expired. The final numbers are devastating. GDP down nearly 80%. Poverty over 90% at its peak. 8 million people exiled, a currency completely erased. Maduro wasn't defeated by ideology or foreign armies. He was defeated by economic reality. You cannot print wealth, you cannot eat oil, You cannot rule over ruins forever. The man is gone, but the wreckage remains. And rebuilding Venezuela will be so much harder than it was to destroy it. Because economics isn't just about money. It's about life itself.